I think for us right now, you know, we just need a good note is to play well and get better. Um, as far as wins and losses, the best way for us to achieve that right result is to play well. And, and I want to see us continue to build, even through a road trip, and a period of games where, we're missing some guys, that it's an opportunity for us to grow. That I've said this, probably a few times over the last couple of years, but, adversity is opportunity in disguise. So we've got to frame it that way in our minds and come out and try to get better every time we step on the court.
What do you see as one of the biggest benefits, or talk about the benefits of a long road trip early on in the season?
I mean, most people would prefer to be at home. We've been at home for a little while. I think on some level, your team having a chance to spend time together without, the distractions of home, which usually are things that all of us miss. Those distractions oftentimes are your family or, practice or things like that. So, but I think, for a period of time, it's a little bit of a bunker mentality. And, right now it's reflective of where our team is. We've run into some challenges, and the schedule and the road present even more challenges.
When you look at New York tonight, obviously another really big front line, and obviously Kristaps and Ennis are playing really well together. What challenges do they present for you?
Well, I think they complement each other really well. With Kristaps being able, to isolate and post up, with his size, Ennis has an opportunity to really work the offensive glass, which is, he's a superior offensive rebounder. So, people want to stay attached to him because he's such a threat on the boards and such a willing rebounder. And I think they complement each other very well. Porzingis can protect the rim. Ennis' physicality and Porzingis' length, so they're a good combination. That's why they're playing well together.
What do you remember about your first time playing at the Garden, such an iconic venue?
The first time I played at the Garden, I only played like 10 minutes. We played St. John's when I was a freshman in college in the preseason NIT, and Mark Jackson was the point guard. And Coach K kept telling, we had a thing where we didn't want to allow the point guard to see the whole floor, so we wanted to pressure him and turn his back. And we later found out over time that Mark Jackson was pretty comfortable turning his back and passing the ball by your ear. So we'll blame one of our assistant coaches for that. That's what we did. Anyway, I remember that. And I remember Walter, the Truthberry, being pretty tough to stop. But that was their home crowd, but it's a special place.
What kind of an opportunity does Derek have, just all-encompassing?
I mean, really, like, it's, positions are what you make of them, so Derek's, I remember telling Derek and Ennis that they were a 9, so they could both be a 4 and a 5, and either one could pick. It seems like most centers want to be power forwards. And so it doesn't, in Derek's case, I want him to do some of the same things. I want him to roll, to get himself in that little pocket, I want him to shoot his mid-range jump shot when he's open. I want him to offensive rebound, on the offensive end. And then defensively, he needs to be up and pick and roll. And so it's just kind of the same game plan for Derek's, the formula for success, so to speak. And he's a different player than Rudy. So, he presents different challenges for the defense, and, he plays defense. He needs to play defense different. We need to play defense different without Rudy. It's just, kind of obvious in some ways, but it's subtle in others where, if Rudy's out there for 34 minutes a game, you develop certain habits, playing with a guy, and you have some of those habits have to evolve.
Did you Do you say anything to Ricky after his struggles, or do you just let? You just kind of just.
One of the things I think that's important as a coach is you don't just talk to someone when they're doing well, or you just don't talk to them when you're not doing well. That you talk to them. You know, that's the nature of a relationship, and it doesn't always involve basketball, but basketball certainly is a centerpiece of it for your professional relationship. But so it's not something that, you know, is unique to, I gotta text him it's a bad game, I gotta text him it's a good game. It's, you know, it's let's communicate through all that, and however people characterize his performance, you know, I think we have different, you know, the goal is not for him to have a good shooting night, and the goal is not for him to have, you know, the goal is to get better. And over time, whether it's, you know, the turnovers, a missed shot, a great finish,